Round the fire, warm and bright, stocked up food for the night. Got our plans set in gold for the days when it's cold. Tools and gear stacked up high in the cabin we reside, listening to the winds howl, prepping for the morning's prowl. At the purpose fireside we stay, ready for that fateful day. Stories shared and hearts alight, round the fire every night.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Preppers Fireside, and we've got a full house. It's not just me and Brian. How disappointed are you guys? I'm only joking. Josh, the disabled camper, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about you?
Excellent. Yeah, I'm good. Ema, nice to see you on. How are you doing?
Hi, yeah, good, thank you.
Excellent. And Brian, see you all the time.
Sorry.
No, we had a great little mini live session last night with me and Brian. So if you're interested in solar power, make sure you check that out after this. But today we're talking about money. Don't talk about money or politics. That's what they say. But yes, we're going to talk about money and prepping and the cost of prepping more so, because the cost of living in the UK is ridiculous. I was going to pull up a million different charts, but you all know the cost of living has gone through the roof. There's some interesting graphics on it. When it comes to prepping, do you have a set budget, Josh, or do you just get what you can where you can?
What is a budget? I don't understand budgets. No, I just get what I can when I can, but I try to keep it sensible
Mm-hmm.
when I can afford.
Ema, are you organised enough to have a budget written down and preps money allocated?
I really love budgeting, but I don't, and I quite like sinking funds. I don't know if other people budget that way, or I've got different pots of money for different things. But I don't have a prepper pot. But I know with like the food budget, if there's money sort of at the end of the month, then it's like, right, well, I'm going to get extra of everything where there's gaps, sort of thing.
Yeah. Brian, do you? I know you like usually plan out like big purchases like the power banks and stuff like that, but do you have a fixed prepper budget when it comes to things like that?
I've got an aspirational budget, so I try and always spend at least 100 to 200 quid a month on things that I've got in my aspirational list, whether that's adding more food or rice or whatever. But I always try and get one large capital purchase in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's aspirational. It just depends. Life doesn't take over. Life shouldn't suffer.
Yeah, that's probably one of the key points we'll come on to. In the comments, we have people saying hello. We have Kelly, Dollytown, Stuart Lonnan, Ricky Randall 2.0. I don't think we met 1.0. Neil Jackson, Johnny, Barry Page, Anthony Parkinson. Nice to see you all. Johnny says, has the Frey Bento stack gone up? Not since last night, I don't think. I think it's the same as it was yesterday. It might have gone down by a pie.
It just looks like I've been eating the pies, but I haven't touched them yet.
You said that, not me. Right. So we get a lot of people, new preppers on here, that say they can't afford to prep. Yeah. So what's your advice to that? I'm going to come to you first on this one, Ema, because it's all about self-sufficiency, right? So for somebody who literally says, I can't afford to prep, that's why I don't do it, what would your advice be on that front?
I suppose focus on what you can do. So maybe focus on your foraging skills. Focus on what's in your control rather than what's not. There's always, you could be learning things on YouTube, learning skills. You could be taking books out of the library. I know it's maybe not a physical prep. It's not a Frey Bento's pie in your pantry, but you're taking action and you're doing something about it.
Yeah. Josh, same question. With zero budget, how does one prep?
Well, let's face it, if you've got zero budget, you're not eating anyway. So everybody has a budget of a sort. So even if it's just one tin of beans a month, that's prepping. But you know, I'll go with Amir as well on this. I think you can carry on doing things, you know, learning things while you're going on. Do those kind of preps in the meantime. But yeah, nobody's got a zero budget, have they? So yeah, just put something away, even if it's just a few pence a week. You can do it.
Yeah, yeah. Brian, similar sort of thoughts from yourself. You're sinking again. You just get some lower a fishing rod and pull him up a bit, Josh. There we go.
Gonna need a thicker rod. I think Emer made a really good point. Prepping could be learning a skill, and it's essentially free, whether it's a library book or something online, or even a friend who's teaching you a skill. So you don't have to spend big or at all.
Yeah, yeah. Skills is definitely a big one, especially, I mean, obviously you've got to pay for your internet, but once you've got the internet, once you've got the resource, if you're watching us, you've already got that. So there's no excuse. Learning skills is as easy as clicking the mouse because there's so many tutorial videos out there. So you can be fully prepped in my eyes without all the stockpiles, as a mental side of things. Do you think overspend is a issue on preps though, Brian?
Well, I feel slightly judged that you're coming to me on that one, to be honest.
It's just random. I came to you first that time.
Bullshit. It's a flaw on my side that I feel guilty if I've not bought something that month. I actually feel like I've done something wrong if I haven't added, even if it's 20 quid's worth of tins or a couple of 10 kilogram bags of rice. I actually feel bad if I haven't got in. So it makes me feel happy if I went out and bought something. That's probably the wrong way to look at it, and it's certainly the wrong thing to say to people, but that's what I do.
That's it, so, Brian, giving you all the wrong advice.
Don't do what I do.
Yeah, Josh, overspend on preps, is that an issue? I mean, I'd like to just say on this point, when you've got scaremongering preppers saying sell everything or spend all your money on preps or go out and you must buy this, you must buy it, do you think it's an issue, especially for new starters?
Yeah, I mean, I think people should ignore most preppers, to be honest, and just sort of concentrate on just getting a stock of normal things in that you're going to use every day and making sure that your pantry is always full. You know, don't feel guilty about anything you do spend though, because there's no point to that. All of us here, we've all overspent on preps. I don't think any of us really care. But yeah, no, don't listen to the scaremongering.
Yeah.
Just do what you need to do.
With spending on preps, Ema, do you have to dance around justifying it with like family and partners and stuff like that? Is that always a factor with it when it comes to spending money on something that somebody else might not see as essential?
Yeah, so my partner and I share finances 50-50. So yeah, any big purchases have to be discussed. But I don't think we've had any big purchases. I know I said, because I plan to get some chickens in the next few months, I said, well, I'll buy I'll take that out of my personal savings because it's not his interest, it's mine. But yeah, I think if you're sharing finances with a partner or family member, it might be polite. And
is that going to reflect if SHTF happens? Is he going to be like, oh no, you didn't pay for these chickens, these are my eggs, you enjoy your grass?
Bargaining.
Brian, you have this issue sometimes, I'm sure. Do you have to battle to spend the money you want to spend on preps?
In fairness, the wife puts up with a lot, as I'm sure you can imagine. So I'll generally come in and say, I've just spent 300 quid in a night vision sight or some body armour, and she'll just shake her head and move on. But as long as I kind of explain after it what it's for, she's generally pretty cool with it. Plus, most of the things I buy are dual use. So power bank we can use in the camper van or camping, or if it's dual use, then it's not wasted money. It's not sitting there. So your food that you're buying, you're recycling. So it's not a waste.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
Can I just say, right, Bob donated £2, said best revenge is to not be like your enemy. That's very random, Bob. And Scottish Prepper, you've donated to the stream you're on. I don't know what's going on here. Every pie counts. But then Bob's come in. I've got to say, he's just put a £20 donation into the thing. So thank you very much, Bob. It's really appreciated. Let us prepare our minds as we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Feels very deep for this stream, but thank you, Bob. It's really appreciated.
But not as deep as a Frey Bentos pie.
Deep. Oh, you've been sponsored by them. I'm telling you.
As if I would do product placement, and it's really smooth, sweet taste of
Is
Pepsi.
it Pepsi? Yeah.
Oh God. Right. So when it comes to, obviously, we've all got our own stuff going on. We try and budget what we can, putting into preps. I'm gonna ask you all a bit of a personal question, but I just want low, medium, high. Low being under £50, medium being 50 to 200, high being 200 plus. What was your average spend on preps a month, Josh? Just say low, medium, high, or thereabouts. It's so you don't have to.
Medium.
Medium. That seems sensible. Yeah, Brian.
High.
Did he say pie or high? I didn't get.
Pie.
It's the same thing, mate. The pies are the size of the bill.
Ema.
I think low. I've
Yeah.
not really gone all out yet on bits. Bits and pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I say though, my preps do include sort of camping gear and stuff like that, so it's not all going on food and water and all that kind of stuff. So I bought a new stove or whatever. I might have bought a new kettle or something. So.
Yeah, this is one thing to say. I think that if you prep and you buy stuff that you use regular camping or just eating in general, it's never an extra budget. It's part of your normal shopping budget. Can I publicly thank Ema? The stove came and the seeds, and the missus was like, "Who sent you that? That looks handmade." We got a little drawing on the back of the note. It was great. But thank you for that.
And did you say it was a lady I met on the internet? I'm just intrigued how you answered that one.
Yeah. I just said it's one of my ladies. That's fine.
Just one of them.
No. Yeah. So anyway, yes, thank you, Ema. Much appreciated. That you sent. I don't know whether I'm going to get to grow them in a box in this house. I might have to hold on to them seeds until I move. Right. Yeah. So let's get back to the subject. If the SH, this is a scenario for everyone here, right? So if the SHTF situation was something like 1920s to 1930s Germany, how would you be preparing for that? And to give you a little idea of what I mean is this kind of era, and this was when you could take a barrel full, the cans were worth more than the money, and they were taking so much money because of hyperinflation in Germany. And you'd be paying hundreds of thousands of marks for a loaf of bread. So if that's the case scenario, are you prepping for that in any way? Josh first.
Well, do you know what? I think that would be really hard to prep for. I think the best thing I could do in those kind of situations is grow more food, because there's no amount of money or gold that I'm going to have at those prices that's going to sort of compete with what they're selling it for. So yeah, I think if that's going to be the scenario, food is the only way.
But this is hyperinflation on the currency, so the gold technically would go up with that inflation rate. So your one nugget will be worth £1 bazillion instead of 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I don't really spend on gold. It's one thing I haven't spent on. I might have spent a little bit on silver, because silver is a bit cheaper and it's sort of within my budget. But gold's something I don't really have, so hopefully silver will go up with it.
Yeah, well, everything should. It's like the currency sort of thing. Brian, hyperinflation and, governments devaluing our pound and stuff like that. How do we prep for that?
I would suggest we're already doing it by doing what we do. So every bag of rice you buy, every tin that you buy, you've automatically saved money by keeping it in the home. So it's a bargaining chip to trade, or it saves you money further down the line because of uncontrolled inflation. So I think by virtue of what we do now, you're already prepping for hyperinflation.
Okay. Yeah, that's a sensible answer. Ema, are you on the same thinking line of that?
Yeah, same as Josh, really. I'm thinking like either buying food ahead of time, but also growing my own, because if I can't afford a loaf of bread, well, then I'll want the ingredients in to make my own, or I'll want the seeds and the compost to grow my own. Like if I can't afford food in the shops because it's so expensive, then
yeah,
taking that control back and being able to grow your own, and also canning equipment, because maybe if other people can't afford items in the shops, then there could be a way to preserve your own food and trade with other people. Perhaps.
Yeah. Is silver or precious metals or any sort of monetary prep something you've looked at all, Ema?
No, not massively. And I used to have jewelry, and then our house got burgled a year or so ago, so that all got nicked. So I'm just a bit like, I don't even want it in the house nearly. I know that sounds maybe a bit negative, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Sorry about that. That's a nightmare situation when things like that happens. Let's quickly jump in the comments. Anthony Parkinson says, I got some tins of soup the other day from a company shop, 15p, best before 2025. Good find. The company shop.
Keep well beyond that date.
The company shop sounds like these old mining towns, doesn't it? Where, you only get paid in tokens for the company shop. Just give us a nod if you're under the Slavery Act there, Anthony. And thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Bob Hunter says you can't bake Fray Bento. He's butchered the name. Fry Benties when you have no oven.
I'd replied to that one. I'd suggested you could do it with some tea lights under it, and then he'd asked, "Would not be funny if you actually tried it." I've got to be honest, I've not
tried
tried
a pie
it.
on there as well, Brian. Put your pie
I'll
on
give
here.
it a bash.
How's that going to crisp the top? Come on, get real, guys.
I'll do a little experiment.
It will cook the pie from underneath. It won't crisp the top, but the pastry will be cooked, right?
I'll give it a bash.
Yeah, give it a bash.
Let's try and keep the questions on
pies
topic.
It's all about the pies.
Now, because you're having your own conversation in here, I've lost. Sorry, Scottish. Have you ever tried to cook one on a candle and not being funny?
I will try it.
My other half just had a hissy fit because I said I wanted to buy a fire escape ladder, and no, we don't live in a bungalow. I suppose this is me saying when you've got to justify. When I asked you about justifying your spend with your partner, I assume that's what Lanx Lass is replying to there.
It's always easier if everybody's on board, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It can take some persuading sometimes. Stuart Lonnan, personally, I haven't spent anything on preps for the last 11 months. I've got one more payment to make for my funeral, basic cremation, last prep anyone needs, and then I'll start saving for my preps. I love that. He's paying for the end before he pays to survive. That's it might be the other way around
these days.
I just scan through here. Bob, stop donating, Bob. I really appreciate you, but come on, nuclear bombs. Any advice apart from buying pants?
Sorry if you can hear that. Could you hear that?
Welcome to Josh's cooking show.
Bushcrafting in the garden. I'm just having the hot chocolate, because it's getting cold out here now. You can't hear it though, can you?
Did you expect a live demonstration here, guys? But
yes. So I made hot chocolate in the garden.
Sod it, I'll just get this out. Let's all go. Let's get cooking.
Well, yeah, I do cook my tea out here most days actually now.
I've lost control. I'm at Brian. You're in charge.
Oh God, we're doomed.
Yeah. So we need to kind of give advice on this kind of prepping front, because it is a case of don't overspend, because you can be bombarded. This is just a prime example. you want to stock 12 months worth of food. Oh, look, it's only £1,995 for 12 months worth of food. And, you know, some people might think that's a bargain, but to a lot of us, it's not really realistic, right?
No.
What is realistic, Brian, to get a stockpile the size of your pies? How long's that taken shop-wise? Not just the pies, I meant, you know, the food.
If it's just food, about a year. And that was because we'd let it run down a lot during COVID. So effectively, I started from scratch last January and moved everything into where it is now, and just sort of went a little bit nuts, to be fair. So
Yeah.
I'd say about a year. But
Yeah.
it could be, it's budget. It's definitely budget related, and I think that's why it puts people off prepping, because they see, oh, well, if somebody's got a big pile of shit like this, then how am I going to get there? Well, you don't have to. You can start here. There's lots of different ways you can start and get it cheaper, and you don't have to get there overnight as long as you start.
Yeah, yeah. But you say you don't have to get out there overnight. But Josh, if we believe the mainstream media and the non-mainstream media, then we need to have all this by yesterday. You know, we need to have fully stocked up. So why shouldn't these people go out and spend their entire rent check this week on tins of beans?
Because you're still going to get evicted if you don't pay your rent. So, do you know what I mean? Even if we went to a war now, it wouldn't be an all-out nuclear war. It would just be a conventional land war still. So you still got to pay your rent. You're still not going to get scot-free or anything. So, you know, just top up each week with a little bit extra. That's all you need to do, really. I wouldn't say there was an immediate rush for any preps at this time. But it is something you always need to be thinking about, right? So you need to start planning it a little bit, even if it's just simple little things, you know, like Frey Bentowski, things like that. But, you know, have a stove in the house, you know, things like that, you know, in case the grid goes down, things like that. Those are just sensible preps. So there's no need to go sort of freakish about it. Just do what you can when you can.
Yeah. Does the current climate of the way things are put a rush on for you, Ema? Because obviously when you're growing your food, there's a huge time aspect as part of that. You know, it's not a case of I'm going to plant this and magic beans appear tomorrow. So have you found yourself like trying to plant a lot more with stuff that's going on at the moment?
Personally, no. I'm just sort of half winging it. I mean, yeah, I could have been more clever with it and done lots of planning, but I ended up leaving things too late and missed the boat on planting certain seeds. But yes, in theory, that would be a really good, a good idea. But I know lots of like proper gardeners, they plan their garden, they plan what they're going to grow and when. They might grow the most expensive, you know, if something's really expensive to buy in the shop, that's what they'll grow in their garden, that sort of thing. Yeah, you can be clever with it. I'm just personally not.
Yeah. So has that brought out the more prepper side of you? Have you like, because I know you've got shelves and stuff now you've shown on your channel. Is that made you make more of a pantry?
Yeah, definitely. Like I treat my pantry like a little mini shop.
Yeah.
And I don't like to see gaps in it. And yeah, I feel more comfortable having tins in the house because like a frost could, you know, well, maybe not this time of year, but frost can wipe things out, slugs can wipe things out, you know, weather, all sorts. So you can't rely on what you're growing, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you might be able to one day, hence the striving. Budget preps is if you type that into YouTube, you get all sorts of videos. You'll even get old ones of me doing reviews on Temu gear. You know, I don't even say the name right, but what's the risk with that, Josh? Like these cheap Chinese replicas, people trying to get everything, ticking all the boxes, and then hopefully upgrade later. Is that a good plan?
No, I won't say that I don't buy from Temu because you also saw my little cooker the other day, didn't you? That I cooked my dinner on. That only cost me £6. So I'm not saying you can't get anything from Temu that doesn't work, because you can. But I wouldn't choose that as my main thing. It's just I want to try things out, so I'll spend a few quid. But yeah, no, I wouldn't buy there, just for my main preps, just as a little side thing for a bit of fun. And if it works, it works great, and I've lost nothing from it, obviously.
Yeah, is a box ticking idea for you, Brian? If you were a new prepper, just to say, I've got the tin opener, I've got this, I've got the knife. Buying from places like that are really low budget, you could spend £30 and put a bug out bag together of awesome quality gear from Temu. Do you think that's a good start, and then maybe upgrade later, or is it just avoid at all costs?
When I started my apprenticeship, I was always told, buy cheap. You pay twice and cheap tools get you hurt. However, in the real world, when you're on a budget, even the Temu stuff and AliExpress has got its place. So if you're buying it and you've tried out some of the kit, first thing is you try it, you don't put it in a cupboard and forget about it. Yeah, you can always replace bits and pieces, as long as it's no something that if it fails catastrophically, you're going to get hurt, somebody else is going to get hurt, or it's going to leave you exposed and in the shit. But certainly having some stuff that you can upgrade is better than having saving for a day that never comes. You know what I mean? It's trying to strike that happy balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been down the Temu route, Emma?
No, and I really hate it. Like, I really try not to support those kind of businesses. Like, and I really hate Amazon. And just, yeah, I just feel like they take away, like, it's, I know like fast fashion isn't, you know, in relation to what you're on about, but just, I just don't like those kind of businesses. I just don't think we should support them. But
this is Temu.
Please don't listen to Emma. Use all my Amazon links that I put in all my videos. She's just trying to throw me under a bus right now. Cheers, mate.
All opinions are my own. No, I try not to support them, but I also get what Brian's saying, and that if you're on a budget, you know, buy what you can afford. But if you can't buy, you know, secondhand or from eBay or from a car boot or locally, like keep the economy local if you can. But you know, I know it's like nearly impossible to buy British, but yeah, I think buying secondhand or local quality gear is a good alternative.
Yeah. I mean, you've hit on one of the points I wanted to say about car boots, because people that haven't been or don't go for looking for Lego pieces and not for prep stuff, just next time you go to a car boot, open your eyes and look for prepper stuff. It's an absolute gold mine. It really is. And when you're talking about like grid down stuff with the old tools and things like that, in an antique shop, you'll pay £20 for a hand drill. On a car boot, you'll find it for 50p in somebody's box at the bottom of the, you know, it's just insane. So it's definitely a good tip there. Any top tips there, Josh, for money-saving preppers?
Well, I've just done a top tip this week on my own self, actually. There was a garage sale down the road. So my new table, 10 quid, can't beat it, can you? So yeah, people are actually starting to do garage sales now because they're getting a bit desperate for money with the cost of living. So it's not just car boot sales. Go, you know, if you see a garage sale, go in there, because people are selling absolutely everything, and you will find things, you know, very useful. You will find prepper stuff in people's houses as well. So I'd give that as a top tip at the minute, because yeah, I bought some interesting things this week. Yeah,
Brian, apart from set up an entire solar system to save money, I don't mean a solar system. You know what I mean, you know.
God has spoken.
You're not God. So, what would your tip be for saving money and not overspending on this prepper shenanigans? I know that's probably not the best advice to get from you, but
keep it really simple. Make sure it's something that you can use. Make sure it's something that you can eat. So if you like to go camping, dual purpose your stuff, just buy a bit more. Food that you eat normally in the house that you keep, just buy a bit more. It's never going to be wasted, because you're always going to churn it and recycle it into your normal everyday life. So normal everyday life isn't suffering, and you know you can eat it and use it. So try and make prepping in real life as close together as possible.
Yeah, definitely. That's good advice. Emma, have you got anything to add for the top tips for people?
I think nearly like take a step back and just maybe evaluate your finances, like your household finances, because you might be overspending on something that you don't need to. You know, like Martin Lewis's sort of advice. I really like him and his website, but yeah, so, like look at your ins and out. Where can you save money that could be, you know, put towards prepping, or I don't know, set an emergency fund as well. Like I'm a big believer in having an emergency fund too. But yeah, just like have a good. Spend the time looking at your finances.
Yeah, definitely. Miss Worm had a good one there. She mentioned the free cycle / Freegal, so stuff for free there. It's another one as well from me is so the big blue barrel things, yeah, that you can put your food in, stuff like that, store water in. Well, rather than going buying them direct, if you go to places that sell spices, wholesalers that sell spices and things like that, that's what they come in, and they've got to get rid of them and they've got to do something with them. They might charge you something, but it's a fraction of the cost you'll buy them new. So I found a place near me, so it's great to get all them, all different sizes. Let's just have a look further in the comments. Don't forget charity shop, says Paul Thomas. Great. That's always a top one. That's good for the books as well. For the how-to guides and stuff like that, the old school ones. Gumtree, Wolfenstein says. Olio app worth a look, says Lady J. I don't know what. Does anyone know what that is?
Never heard it.
No, never heard of it.
No. We're all lost on that one. We'll have to have a look for that afterwards. Being a van prepper, every prep earns its place in the van. No point of me having 20 knives when I have 2 hands. There you go. That's a very good point. Prep for what you need, not just for pretty displays.
Yeah, I mean nearly everything I buy is dual purpose. So I tend to only buy things that I know I'm going to use anyway, because there's no point, you know, in spending things I'm going to stock on a shelf that will never get used, right? So same point he's making, really. It's a very sensible point.
Yeah, definitely. TXM says, my understanding is that blackout equals 7 days, e.g. the time it takes to bring it back. So camping, anything longer that you need to learn how to live in the 1700s. I think he's talking about the black start, isn't he there, Brian? I think we speaking about that. You've got a different theory of how long it would take them to get the grid back on?
It could be months, if ever. It'll depend how, in an uncontrolled shutdown, some things might not be able to come back as quickly as what you would like. And if you look on the risk management website for Cobra, they've risk assessed it as a 4 is likely to happen. Sorry, 3 is likely to happen. I tell a lie. 4 is likely to happen, and 3 in severity. And then they go on to say the doom and gloom of what would happen. So I'd suggest it's a lot longer than 7 days, and he's got a point. We would be right in the shit.
Yeah. Miss Worm says, do surveys for vouchers. I get about 150 to £200 a year. It doesn't take long. There you go. Link us up, Miss Worm. Ema, why are you talking in the chat? You have a mic. Just shout to be heard. Interrupt. Isn't the Olio app for shops giving away? Oh, is that? Wow. It's like that best before thing. I can't remember what the. Yeah, her brother put me onto an app, and it's where they like Starbucks will give bags away of like the pastries that are going to go off the next day and stuff like that. I'm not sure how. That's good to save money, I suppose, but maybe not to stockpile out of date sandwiches from Greg's. They might not keep.
Well, you can eat every day, though, can't you, for free, and spend your money on preps, can't you?
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. There you go. It's not free. It's not free. Just put that out there. But it's a lot. Okay. It's reduced. Thank you, Emo, Brian, Mike, and TD. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Bob is so surreal.
Sounds like he wants me to top myself there. Bit offended, Bob. I thought we were getting on so well.
I love Bob because it just I read and I'm like, is it me reading things wrong? I was confused. Just trying to check if we've got any questions in the comments, guys, before we wrap up. All part of the Great Reset says Wolfenstein, once economy implodes, then offer us fourth industrial revolution. There we go. Anything to add on this subject? Because I'm literally out of talking points and coughing my guts up. So, anyone? Feel free, guys. I'm talking to you for. Jesus Christ.
It's been one of them days, hasn't it?
Yeah,
It's like
talk about leaving me hanging.
Yeah, I think the important thing is to get across is that don't look at it as an insurmountable problem when you're prepping. Don't look at big piles of stuff. You must have all the things. Start small, buy a little, a lot. It's been spoke about in the chats. It's all good advice. A couple extra tins. It astounds me. I can't afford to prep or buy extra food, but they'll be smoking through a packet of cigarettes as they're telling you that, right? So I'd suggest your priorities although I'm all for living your life, might change things slightly.
Yeah.
Mike, you're a terrible person. Beeping away.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's true. It's prioritizing. One prep that is not a prepper thing, but as a human being, I think everyone should be doing is budgeting. If you didn't get a chance to see my video with the Frugal Queen in France, she's got an awesome channel, but she talks about all frugal living. But it's mainly about budgeting and budgeting everything, because it's all right writing down rent, council tax, electric, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't write down that I've nipped into Costa Coffee every single day this week on the way to work and spent £5 each time, and then at the end of the month, you're wondering where all your money went, it's because you're not writing everything down. So as an exercise, just for 1 month, people should write everything down, and you'll really see where your money's going.
And just on that, trust me, at some point you're going to want that money, because I've just been through a 5-week period where I've had to spend pretty much all my savings to go back and forth to hospitals and things like that. So anything can happen. It's not just about, shit hit the fan, just normal things happen and it swallows up your money. So yeah, that's a good idea to be budgeting. Always have a stash. Always.
Yeah, definitely. The shit can hit your personal fan, not just the proverbial everybody fan.
I'm a terrible budgeter.
Yeah. Well, I've seen
you just like spending money, don't you?
Just
really
buys power banks. It's just
mine's 10. Isn't it?
next time Brian goes to book a holiday, he's going to be like, deposit, no problem, and put a power bank on the desk in the tourist.
Do you know how bad it is when we go on holiday next month? My suitcase, I've bought lots of cheap crap that I'm just going to leave there, so that I've got room in my case to go to Walmart and buy some pepper food, because it's much cheaper to stick it in the case.
He's not buying food in Walmart and transporting it through customs. Ignore his statement.
No. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, someone commented on our video, Brian, about you must have been mistaken, because obviously you only store 20 litres of fuel, because that's what the legal requirement is.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what I meant. It's my dodgy Scottish accent.
That's what it is. Yeah. I'm just checking the last of the comments here. The dollar could crash soon and bring down the world's money, as the petrodollar deal hasn't been renewed. There you go. This is what I was talking about with the hyperinflation and economies crashing. It doesn't mean there's been a war. Doesn't mean we're sheltering from nuclear war. The whole prepping thing could be finance related. We had to buy a new roof, then a new boiler. Unlucky. Yeah, there you go. That's the mini disasters that Josh is talking about there.
Yeah. They're more likely to happen than the big disaster, to be honest. I mean, big disasters are going to happen inevitably at some point, but it's the mini ones you're going to have to really prep for, because you're always going to get it by one, always.
Yeah.
And they only happen when you're skint.
Yeah.
They never happen when you've got loads of money in the bank. Shit breaks when you're skint.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of people giving advice in the chat. No questions, guys, before we close it up. Please make sure you get them in the next couple of minutes if you have. Anything to add, Josh?
No. No, I don't know really. I mean, I'll just go back. We'll do a little bit about mental health game, just so any of you guys are actually sort of worrying about things that are going to happen. They're going to happen anyway, so best not to worry about it. Just do something about it. So instead of just sitting there going, oh my, what's going to happen, just get on and prep, really, and take the stress out of all of this. And but don't sit there worrying your life away for it. It's just not worth it. Life is still livable, right? We're still doing okay, right? When shit hasn't hit the fan yet, just be sensible, prep a bit, and don't stress.
Yeah. I've got a couple of questions here. Do you sacrifice anything for your preps? Ema, we'll go to you first.
No, the preps aren't. I mean, preps aren't like the highest thing on the priority list for me, sort of financially. I get bits as and when. So no, that's the short answer.
Yeah. Brian, do you think you sacrifice anything for the money you spend on preps?
Yeah. My waistline, mate, I'm dedicated to product testing. So cholesterol levels taking a real hit.
Keeping it serious as always. Josh, do you sacrifice anything that you'd normally spend money on for the sake of prepping?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I pretty much sacrifice my social life. So, I mean, I go out once every few weeks instead of, I'd like to go out once a week maybe, or even take a holiday. But, I'm always having to prep for something because, I have to prep to have a scooter or whatever it is. I'm always having to put money by for something. So, yeah, I do often give up things, that I want to do. I am going on a parachute jump next month, though.
There you go. Good. I hope that's something you're doing sponsored or something like that. Is it?
Well, no, my brother-in-law's paying for it, so I thought, hey, I'm in.
Oh,
he really doesn't like you, does he?
It's a free. No, he doesn't like my sister. It's his wife,
I want to see this on your channel.
I want to take her out. Really, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it filmed. I'm going to put it up on. You put it up on this channel, your channel, and my channel, whatever. So,
has he also bought you a bath bomb sponge by any chance?
No, he bought me a gizmo. You know what who Gizmo is, don't you?
The guy for the little furry thing for the film.
Yeah,
Gremlins.
Gremlins, yeah, Gizmo.
Was Gizmo kicking when he handed it to you?
He was up to something.
Did it have a cord, and when you pulled it, it started counting down from 10, 9, 8?
No, but he was smiling when he handed me the money for the parachute jump. He was saying, "You'll have a good time. Take the money."
Wow, you're a brave man than me. I'll only jump out of a plane if it's on fire.
Well, yeah.
It's
got to be done.
We've got some questions in here. Not sure if we can answer them fully. Jess Pixie says, "Where do you get antibiotics legally from?" The doctor. Don't joke. No,
you're trying to kill me before I even jump out the plane, aren't you?
The doctor, and we can't advise you any other way. However, if you happen to be going on a round the world sailing trip and you're not going to be near land for any length of time, then you can let your there's companies that specialize in this. So just Google that kind of thing, and you can then buy a pack. It'll be written off by a GP, and it's antibiotics you might need for all these things at sea because you can't get to land.
In
only
America,
if
though,
going...
in America, you can actually buy, like Mike is saying, these packs, and you don't need a prescription to get it. So
Yeah.
I would just say that over here it's going to be a lot more difficult, isn't it? So
yeah, but
like in
there is still
America,
companies
you
that
can do it.
specialize. There is companies that specialize in it, and it's pretty much the check is you just saying yes, I'm going out on my ship. Don't show them an inflatable dinghy. Just go with it.
Little boat in the bath.
Here we go. I'm just looking through the comments, guys. Feel free. Any one of you three could feel free to talk while I'm looking through these comments.
Okay, Josh. What about the shirt? I've got to ask
The
about the shirt.
That is Timu. Sorry, Amir.
You would never guess.
No, you wouldn't, would you? It's like
No, it
like,
just screams
it's camo.
quality.
It is camo. It screams quality. Yeah. This is
Yes,
Aldi's.
March. It's very bright. I like it. It's
Very
different.
coordinated.
What's the shorts?
I love it.
Give us a demonstration.
The shorts aren't quite as coordinated. They're a bit like flowers, like poppies. I think they are. Isn't it?
That's yeah.
It's an amalgamation. It's an amalgamation of just whatever I've got, and I throw it on. That's
it sets off the top. I like it. It's
yeah. Got new glasses on though.
You need big flamboyant. John wants to go with the shirt.
I had them last time, didn't I? And they were disgusting. I hated them. I never want them on my face again. So I'm quite happy.
Oh no, I thought they were great. You should totally have. My eyes.
My eyes. Yeah. I like it though. Come on.
Sorry, I've got to read Bob's comment out because he's done a super chat. Thank you again for the donation. Bob spent more on this stream than I have on the webcam using for it. Love is free. It costs nothing at all. It cost you £2 there, Bob. So, Barry J. Page, Biden's no longer running for president. I think we've all seen that news. I don't know if they announced a replacement.
Never
Is it
mind.
going to be Hillary stepping in?
No, it's a sidekick, isn't it? What's her face? Camilla.
It's the psychic. Psychic running the country.
Sorry,
I mean,
I mean the vice president. I am very sorry if you're from America. Yeah, it's Camilla.
Yeah,
who's not going to get voted in anyway. So
yeah. Don't give away any of your political predispositions there, Josh.
Sorry.
At all,
Yeah, I do. I like America actually. I do. I just maybe the politics is a bit.
Yeah, Jess Pixie, being a disabled prepper is a little harder, not money wise for me because I can't be bothered doing anything. There you go.
Well,
okay. Josh is your man to follow, the disabled prepper there. He's
yeah, but I do things.
he does things. He'll motivate you.
He's done something with that shirt, that's for sure.
It's like I've been sick, really, isn't it? But I like it.
I like it, mate. I'm only kidding. You'll see me in one next time.
All right then. Yeah, $3.95 Timu in there.
Do they do them in huge?
I don't buy huge, do I? So, yeah, probably.
Well, we body shame me. Thanks, Josh.
What do you call huge?
Kind of. That's fine.
Love costs nothing. That's definitely a matter of opinion. Yeah, I'll completely agree with that. My bank balance doesn't say that. TD is an expert in political philosophy, is he? Well, there you go. Right, I think we'll call that because the comments are just getting as ridiculous as our conversation. But before we go, can you tell? We'll start with you, Josh, and we'll go around the circle. So, Ema, you're last. You've got time to think. Tell us what your channel is about and what your next video will be on your YouTube.
You tell me, because it's been such a disastrous year. Every time I've said, well, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that, I've been called away doing something or other, and just life's been a bit crap. But I am determined to get another camping very soon. I'm going to a place called, what's it called? I don't know. But Bird's Marsh, which is a wood not too far away from me. I'm going to show you a bit of bushcrafting and maybe a bit of foraging, as long as I don't get called away for another 5 weeks. So hopefully that won't happen. That's what's coming up. Hopefully.
Awesome. And crossed. Obviously, if you want to see Josh skydiving, make sure you click on his name.
I will put that up.
Miss Worm has posted the link for his channel there, I believe. So go and click that, subscribe. He's got one video on it there at the moment, but you're gonna miss him skydiving.
There's 2 on there.
There's
Actually,
2.
2.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean,
But
it was
either
meant.
way-
It was meant to take off by now, but I've been taken off everywhere else, haven't I? So,
Listen, just go and subscribe, hit the notification bell because you do not want to miss him falling out of a plane. There might not be another video, so
no, there might not be another one.
make sure you ask your brother-in-law to upload it. Either way, Brian.
I might film it live. You never know.
Yeah, there you go, Brian. Brian, what's your channel all about, and what's your next video?
But I'm still hung up on the fact of this flashing image of a wheelchair with a parachute and a crater on the ground. That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Should I take my scooter with me?
I'm a terrible person.
Come down in my scooter, should I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's my channel about? An embodiment of poor IT skills and lazy video editing. I try and cover lots of different things, but from a technological bias, mostly, I suspect. Mostly on bugging in rather than bugging out, I would think. That's
Cool.
Thing.
Excellent. Ema, what's your channel all about, and what's going to be your next video? And how's Spud?
Spud was at the vets this morning with a dodgy eye, but it's all good. He got sorted. My channel is mostly about me trying to be more self-sufficient. It's so-so. And a bit of preparedness as well in there. Next video will hopefully be a book review. I think the book's called When the Shit Hits the Fan or something like that.
I read that. I read it.
Yeah, okay. I'll save it for the video.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
So go and read Shit Hits the Fan before you watch Ema's video, but make sure you go and subscribe to her channel. Striving for self-sufficiency. Some cool things on there, and plus Spud's awesome. So there you go. Spud's the reason to like, subscribe, and all that wonderful stuff on her channel. And thank you to Miss Worm for posting everybody's links in there and for being in here moderating as always. Thanks to Anthony and Bob for your donations through the stream, and everyone for being here. Yeah, thank you all, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Cheers, bye.
Water stored in jugs and tins, bunkered down through thick and thin. Maps and routes all drawn and laid, preppers live unafraid. At the preppers' fireside we stay, ready for that fateful day. Stories shared and hearts alight, round the fire every night.